One thing about Nigerians is that we can be very delusional, and you know, and especially when we don't like someone, we just wish that something can be true, something that hurts that person, or that kind of ridicule that person or brings the person down to nothing. We just wish that thing is true. And the reason why we wish that thing is true, because we wish that thing is true, we just ignore every logic. We just ignore everything that demands us to use our brain or to do a simple search. So of course, we are now aware of the new quote unquote battle between very dark man and Baylord, and regarding the word Ratel and the fact that Baylord have created an app for the trading of gift cards, and he called it Ratel. And he has alleged, whether verified or unverified, that he has trademarked the name, and he has come out to make some post online talking about how he has asked his lawyers to go ahead and issue a desist order to go to court and kind of get a desist order to ensure that very dark man does not use the word rattle anymore, and a couple of things. And I watched the video this morning that very dark man came out in a very sober way, which for me is very suspicious, to address that issue and about the fact that he did not trademark the name Rattle and stuff like that. A lot of haters. So I've seen a lot of videos come out, and I also saw a post. Why I'm doing this video, because I've also seen a post by somebody who, from what she posted and the picture she posted along with the article, suggests that she's a lawyer, and she's come out to talk about how you can use the name for long and then lose it because you didn't trademark it and stuff like that. Of course, that is true, but in the case of the word Rattle or the name Rattle, is it possible that someone can actually trademark the name Rattle? Is it possible that Billot is the first to have used that word Rattle and kind of probably trademarked it? Is it possible that he trademarked it, and because he did that, no one else can use that name? And also, is it also possible that if he has an app called Rattle, that no one can use the word Rattle along with Rattle? For example, Rattle movement, which is what VDM uses. Does that mean that VDM cannot use Rattle again in addressing his fan base as a Rattle movement? Let's look at a few things. I actually had to go do some research on my own, and just kind of muting all the noise that have been generated regarding this thing on social media and stuff, to see exactly if this is good, if it is actually possible or true. People have hailed Billord as a smart guy. Of course, Billord is smart, and I'll tell you why I say he's smart. He's smart because the word, because of his controversy with VDM. It is good. He's trying to ignite that controversy again, but he's not doing that to ridicule VDM. That's one thing you guys don't know. Billord is a businessman. Okay. Now, what he has done is this. He knows that Rattle, look, if you are creating an app or doing something and you're using a name that is not known, you have to do a lot of publicity and marketing, right? You have to do a lot of publicity and marketing to put that name and that app in the eyes and ears of people, right? So if he had given that this thing like gift card, gift card, or that name, he has to do a lot of marketing. But he looked at it very well as a smart businessman that he is. There's a word called Ratel, and this Ratel is associated to somebody who some people see as very controversial, and because of his activity, he has a lot of enemies, a lot of people who hate him, a lot of haters. You know what I mean? That really want him to go down. So, and he has also had an issue with this guy in the past. So if you use the word Ratel, first of all, to give that app it wouldn't make much difference. But if he now ties that name, to this controversial figure or this activist, however you see him, and then make the noise he is making now to claim ownership of this, is going to stir up some kind of conversation, some kind of reactions in the social media space, which of course is what is happening right now. And by so doing, the app, because this controversy is now tied to the fact that he has an app in that name, and now he's claiming ownership of that name because of that app that he has created. Now it's going to make a lot of people to begin to look at what exactly is this app, and people are going to download it, They're going to begin to check what the ad is about. And the haters of Very Dark Man will do that to spite him and to talk about it and in his favor. Those who actually want to really know the truth, want to look at the app and so in any way look at it, he is marketing this app. This app is being pushed out to you. You understand what I mean? It is gaining in popularity. It is gaining, in popularity, And so a lot of people will go to accept it. There's those who don't like Very Dark Man. So he is making use of this controversy to do what the marketing is called top of mind awareness. Top of mind awareness. That is exactly what he's trying to do. So he is doing it in a very smart way. A lot of people, because of the hatred for Very Dark Man, sees it as a spite on Very Dark Man. You understand? Now we are going to look at something right now. What I found on the internet and why I think a lot of people who are thinking that Very Dark Man cannot use the name Ratel anymore don't know what they are saying. Whether you're a lawyer or not does not really matter. You don't know what you're saying. The reason why I think that way is do you know that in South Africa there's an armored vehicle. There's an armory, or I don't know what to call it, like an armored vehicle. Let me put it that way. That is named Ratel. Are you aware that this Beloved Ratel app is not the only app on the Google Play Store or App Store that is called Ratel? Are you aware of that? Are you aware that Ratel is also used as a surname in the place of Canada, like Canada and France? Are you aware of that? Are you aware that Ratel, of course, this one is a common knowledge, is associated to a honey badger? It's a German and African term that is used to call the honey badger, which is an animal. So Ratel is not, Beloved cannot claim ownership of Ratel. But let's see what I got from the internet. Okay, let's see if all this noise also that a lot of people will, of course, are making content. They want to key into the moment and make content around it and stuff. But let's see what I got online and what the internet is saying. First of all, the first question I asked online was, have there been in any part of the world where the word Ratel have been patented? That's the first question I asked. And then, of course, it came a lot of things, and then bringing the issue of VDM and Beloved. And I said, no, you should ignore any conversation or any some information that is related to this controversy and give me other informations. And this is what I got. Now, up here are the informations I got. First of all, after I asked the question regarding the pattern, I can see a lot of things coming up relating to the Nigerian dispute, Beloved, and stuff like that. Then I told it, if you look here down here, I said, ignore any source of information relating to the online debate regarding the trademark of the name by Beloved in Nigeria. Look at what it says. You say, why Ratel, the African and Dutch word for honey badger, is a generic animal name. It has been registered as a brand name and used for military equipment in various parts of the world. You can see that, okay? Now that's also this one alone should tell you that Beloved cannot even lay claim to that name in any way. Okay, so the trademark and name usage, not controversial context. So military hardware, South Africa. The most globally recognized use of the name is the Ratel infantry fighting vehicle, developed by South Africa in 1970s. It was the first wheeled infantry fighting vehicle in the world to enter the service. In this context, Ratel is an official military designation rather than a private consumer patent. Can you see that? Now, in mobile apps, as of 2026, multiple apps on the App Store and Google Store utilize the name Ratel. These are often small-scale utility or gaming apps where the name is used to symbolize the toughness or fearlessness of the honey badger. Let's go to corporate entities. Various businesses operate under variation of the name, such as Ratel Group. So there's already a company called Ratel Group. There's one called Ratel Movement Worldwide. These entities typically register the name as a corporate identity rather than a broad intellectual property patent. Now let's look at the legal status of the generic name, because of course Ratel is a generic name because it refers to an animal, right? In intellectual property law, the name Ratel faces significant hurdles for patenting or broad trademarking due to its generic nature. Look at this, generic technology or terminology. Because Ratel is a common dictionary word for Mellivora capensis,
that is honey badger. It is widely considered a generic term in many jurisdictions. Look at this distinctiveness requirement. To successfully trademark Ratel, an entity must typically add a distinctive prefix or suffix, example, Ratel Fintex or Ratel Princess, to differentiate it from the animal itself. So that means nobody can just go and trademark or patent the name Ratel alone. You must add something. Just like, for example, a video can go in and still patent the name Ratel movement. You see that? Then class limitations. Even when registered, a trademark for Ratel is usually limited to the specific nice classification. Example, class 9 for software or class 36 for financial services, meaning it does not prevent others from using the name in unrelated industry. Can you see that? So for some of you who are thinking that Billard won any war or won any trophy by doing what he did, you guys don't. I know a lot of people, a lot of you just wish that this is true because for as far as it ridicules VDM, it should be true. If you just wish it is true. But unfortunately, the name Ratel cannot be patented by anyone. No single pen can lay ownership to the name. You see it? And I'm not sure until Billard comes out and tell us what he patented or trademarked. Is it Ratel app or Ratel? Because he cannot, from what we have seen so far, he cannot patent or trademark the name Ratel alone. It had to be added to prefix. There must be a suffix or a prefix added to it for that to stand. So let him come and show us what he patented. And I really wish he would go to court and try to stop VDM from using the word Ratel. You know, Nigerians are very gullible. And I understand a lot of people hate VDM and they really wish this is true. But unfortunately, it cannot be done. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.